Hi, my name's Matt, and this is the baseline workout from our TRX Virtual Education course. The first thing we're going to do is move the straps up to mid-length. So just adjusting through the barrel lock or the cam buckle, sliding the adjusting tab up so the strap's at mid-height. Well, the first exercise we're going to do is a TRX squat row. Starting with your feet shoulder width apart, elbows bent at 90 degrees, standing facing the anchor point. Have a slight bend in the knee, and all I want you to do is just to extend your arms, lower your hips down towards your heels, extend the legs, and then bring your arms back towards the chest. And we're just going to be doing this exercise for 30 seconds. The focus is mobility, so it's a nice light load, just starting to feel what the range of movement is available from your body, and just starting to engage the muscles as we bring you in and out of each position. The next exercise we're going to have a look at is a T-spine rotation. So you can place the straps into a single hand mode. From here, we're going to take hold of the handle with your left hand, set it up so it's in line with the sternum with your feet together. I'm going to step forward with my foot that is nearest the anchor point, placing my hand over the top. As I extend my arm, take a nice deep breath in, and as I exhale, rotate around behind. Inhale and bring the arm back over. And as you exhale again, reaching the arm into a nice big reach. And again, we're working on the mobility in the thoracic spine area. Good. Swapping it over to the opposite side. Again, I'm going to place the handle in front of my sternum. Inside foot nearest the anchor point is going to be the one that's in front. Extend my arm. As I exhale, rotate around. Inhale. And again, exhale. Let your eyes follow your thumb. Bring yourself in, and again, as you exhale this time, just start to feel that mobility be increased as you reach behind and bring yourself back to the centre. The next exercise is going to be a TRX plank, so taking it out of single hand mode. The adjustment here is going to be at mid-calf height, and we're going to be on the ground facing away from the anchor point. To place your toes in, take one foot cradle in each hand, put them on top of the toes, bring your feet together, tension on the strap as you roll over onto your front, and we're going to hold you up into a really strong plank position. And again, we're going to be holding this here for 30 seconds. Every single time you get into this plank position, think about your shoulder blades coming back and down, pushing your heels in towards the handles, and I want you to think about squeezing your butt cheeks and your quads tight to try and maintain this nice stable spine. Now just a nice steady breathing pattern, so you're trying not to hold your breath at all. Your eyes are looking down at the top of your fingertips, so it's a really nice strong position. And relax there. Next we're going to go up into a body saw where we're going to move from the shoulder, creating a bit of mobility in that shoulder girdle. So bring yourself up again, moving yourself backwards and then forwards again. So trying to maintain a really strong plank position, and you're creating the mobility from the shoulder girdle as you move your heels back underneath the anchor point and then realign into that active plank as well. Good. Relax there. And we'll do that exactly the same movement again for another 30 seconds. This TRX body saw is a great way of increasing the intensity, working through the core as well. So try and keep everything stable, apart from through the shoulder girdle, where the shoulders start to move into a bit of extension, and then bring yourself back into that really strong, solid, active plank position. Good. And relax there. Now from here we're going to move onto a side plank, so we're just going to turn over onto the side. I'm going to do the first side plank on my elbow, and I'm going to have my inside foot to the anchor point slightly in front. We're going to bring you up into a strong side plank position, creating a fist at the top, bringing my shoulder blades back and down, head in a nice neutral position so it's in a good alignment, so the head is in line with the spine. Try and separate from the elbow on the floor all the way through to the fist reaching up, and the key focus is obviously the height of the hip and reducing the ability to sag in the body as well. Good, and relax there. To reach over onto the opposite side. Same setup. Inside foot is going to be the one closest to the ankle point, and that's going to be the one that's in front, up into that side plank position. Keep pressing through the hips up as high as you can. Hold that really strong position. Bring yourself down. Let's rotate it over to the opposite side again. Same thing again. Reaching up. And this time I'm just going to open up through a little bit more length into the legs. So into that nice wide offset position where the foot that is nearest the ankle point has just reached a little bit further forwards. And the foot that's furthest away from the ankle point has just moved backwards slightly as well. And then slowly bring that down. Let's go on to the opposite side. And then slowly release that. Bring it onto the front. Now in order to bring the feet out, what we're going to do is bring your heels towards your bum and that will come out of the foot cradles. Now the next exercise we're going to do is an overhead squat. So for this exercise, I'm going to bring the straps up to a mid-length position. I'm going to reach my arms up. My handles, I've just moved to the back of the hands on this exercise. With the arms directly above me, feet shoulder width apart, so it's a nice comfortable range. What we're looking to do is to lower your hips down towards the floor and then bring yourself back up. If you need to adjust just depending on the range and the depth that you're going to go, you're trying to maintain tension onto the straps so that they do not slack, but at the same time trying to maintain the position of the arms so they're being pulled back each time as well. Try and keep the spine in a nice neutral position, so keeping it in a strong plank position, so the upper body is a plank, the mobility is coming from the hips, the knees and the ankles. Bring yourself back up. Okay, give that a little shake. Loosen your legs up and we'll go back into that for the second 30 seconds. Reaching the arms up. Let's go again. Keep focusing, looking straight ahead, so you're in a really nice tall position. Letting the hips go as low as it feels comfortable, but trying to maintain that really nice neutral spine. Good. You're pulling the hands back the whole time so the foot cradles are pulled onto the back of the hand, maintaining that strong position. Shake it out. Next exercise we're going to have a look at is a rotational walk. So lengthening the straps. You can put it into single hand mode. What we're going to do again, put the hands against the back of the foot cradles. With the hands in front of your sternum, extend those arms out. And what I want you to do is I want you to pull against the straps. So there's a nice amount of activation coming all up through the core, and you're starting to feel through your arms as they work, and you're trying to almost resist and put a transverse plane force into this rotational movement. Although you're not moving, it's going to be a really strong position and a really active position as well. Good. Okay, swap that over to the opposite side. Same thing, the hands go out in front of you. As you're pushing out in front of you, your hands are in front of the sternum. Nice active position. Athletic stance, and pull the straps against your hands. So there's tension through the straps the whole time and a really strong active core position. So where you're trying to pull the straps, but of course you can't. Good. Brilliant. Let's release that one. Take it out of single hand mode. We're going to get you set up for a TRX crossing balance lunge. We're going to move the straps to mid-length again. So this will get you used to adjusting the straps really quite comfortably. From here, standing facing to the ankle point, with your feet together, you're going to lift one leg up. And what you're looking to do is to lower your hips down and then bring yourself back up nice and tall. Each time that you lower the knee down towards the floor, it's going to cross over around about ankle height, and a nice light grip on the hands the whole time. Even at the bottom of the range of movement, the work should be done through the standing leg, maintaining your stability, and it's just allowing you to increase your range of movement where you put a little bit of pressure through to the legs. Okay, let's swap it over to the opposite side. Same thing again. Now you have got the option of taking a foot down to the floor if you wanted to. that would be an option. So if you're struggling with a bit of stability, please feel free to lower the knee down towards the floor and allowing the foot to make contact in this crossed over. It takes it almost into what we call a curtsy lunge as well. Good. So that's going to be the suspended position, and then bring yourself up. Okay, shake the legs out. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side. Bring the knee up. This is your balance position, and then bring yourself nice and tall. As you come out of that slow position, squeeze the glutes and at the top of the movement. Try and maintain as much force and production as you can. We really want you to feel the movement, and even though this is a baseline exercise, challenging your stability, we want to really integrate as many of the muscles as working as we can, so you get a big, strong position. Good. Okay, let's swap it over to the opposite side again. Same thing. Option on taking the foot down to the floor if you want to, or you can take yourself into the balance position as well. Nice light grip onto the handles, so the work is being done by the standing leg. Trying to maintain that range of movement, but at the same time working these muscles all the time as well. Good, shake it out there. Coming up next, we've got a TRX chest press. The adjustment is going to be a fully lengthened strap. You're going to stand facing away from the anchor point. And we'll start you off with a nice comfortable option, so an offset foot position. Looking straight ahead, lowering your chest towards the handles and pushing your arms out in a strong position. Making sure that there is no scraping on the arms. Now if you have got this as a position which is fairly comfortable for you, the next progression is your legs going wide, where you transfer the weight of your body forwards a little bit more, fully through the arms. Maintaining your shoulder position. Think about your shoulder blades coming back and down and working through that active plank as well. Good, okay, shake the arms out a little bit. Reset yourself up again. We have the option of bringing your feet narrow for further progression. And you could also change the angle of the body. So using the vector principle and the stability principle, both at the same time, to make the intensity varied as well. Now remember, one of the sins would be stopping. So if you feel like you can't maintain that form anymore, then quite simply we can just get you to step forwards, so that we can make the exercise still achievable without needing you to go into that sin of stopping. Good, okay, and relax there. The next exercise is going to be a hamstring curl, so we're going to take you down to the floor. Bringing the straps out at mid-calf height, and we're going to be on the ground facing the anchor point, putting your heels in for our hamstring curl. So one finger, one thumb on the foot cradles, extend your legs, making sure they're in a nice neutral position underneath, hands go flat onto the floor, lift up your hips so that they are completely off the floor, and then bring your heels in towards you, and then extend the legs. Keeping that nice big range of movement, eyes looking up towards the ceiling. Each time you extend the legs, squeeze the butt cheeks tight, just so as when you extend the hips, you're just resetting into a nice neutral position before you start to draw the knees over your hips again. Good, and relax there. And we'll do that a second time as well. So just give the legs a little bit of a shake. If you feel that you want to use the pendulum principle to make the exercise easier, you could move into this negative position. So let's start your next 30 seconds here. We'll do 15 seconds in this negative pendulum principle, and then what I'll do is I'll demonstrate how you can make this exercise harder for the last 15 seconds as well. So for this one, I'm using gravity to assist me, bringing my feet in towards that neutral position. Good, and then the progression, quite simply, just set yourself up in a position where now neutral is being pulled away from me, and now I'm working against resistance and against that gravity as I start to bring my heels in towards my hips again. Okay, and relax there. Now the last movements that we're going to do are a couple of stretches. So we're going to bring the straps up to mid-length again. And the first stretch we're going to have a look at is your lower back stretch. So with the arms extended at around about rib height, What I'm going to do is take a nice wide stance, and I'm going to lower my weight in towards my hips, extending my arms and extending my legs. As I look down towards an imaginary line between my feet, what I want you to do is I want you to bend your right leg and look underneath your left armpit. Now think about that left hip being peeled backwards, and try to rotate through your ribs as well. So you get a nice long stretch all the way down through the sides. Now bring yourself back to the centre, bending your left knee, extending the right leg, peeling the right hip backwards this time as you look underneath through the right armpit. Head is going to be in the middle of the arms. Bring yourself back around to the centre. Let's take it to the opposite side again, so rotating through. This time I've got my left leg extended, my right knee bent, looking underneath the left armpit. Coming back round to the centre, through to the opposite side again. Good, slowly bring yourself back to the centre, roll up through your spine. And the last movement that we're going to do is a chest and torso stretch. So with your hands out in front of you, what we're going to do is kind of take a large step forwards, and what I want you to do is take your arms out to the side into a chest stretch. Now at this position here, I'm stretching through the front of the hip, I'm stretching wide into the chest, and with my left foot forwards, I'm now going to reach my right arm upwards and allow my left arm to reach down a little bit lower. Think about now lengthening through the right arm up towards the ceiling. I've got my weight from my front left knee over the ankle in a nice stable position. If I bring that back round through the centre, step back, and then alternate through the legs. So the right leg steps forwards, I get the hip flexor stretch, open up the arms out towards the side so I get a nice long chest stretch, and then rotate in the stretch. So reaching my left arm up, right hand comes down, and again try and lengthen through the body. So you're reaching your left hand up high, across your body slightly, the right knee is directly above the ankle, and you're just starting to feel that stretch, not only in the hip flexor, around the sides of the torso, but also opening up through the shoulder and through the chest as well. Good, slowly bring yourself back to the centre, step back out, and then slowly release. Thanks for joining us for this baseline workout.